Hello, NWOBHM here. Today it's Weapon, oh yes, Weapon, and No Peace Till Hammersmith. Now, this is Weapon, of course, will go all the way back to the start of the new wave of British heavy metal days, 1980-ish, and it's them live when they supported Motorhead on their Ace Up Your Sleeve tour. Before I tell you a little bit more about it, if you wouldn't mind please subscribing to the channel first, because that'd be marvellous and a big help if you would. So please do. But back to this, as I say, it's Weapon and a live performance way back in 1980 when they supported Motorhead. And it's jolly good stuff. You know, things were looking good for Weapon back then, weren't they? They'd been signed up very quickly by Virgin Records. Motorhead's guitarist, you know, the legendary Fast Eddie Clarke, saw Weapon playing a gig somewhere. I think was it the Venue in Tottenham Court Road, maybe, and was impressed enough that Weapon got offered the support slot with Motorhead on that tour. And whilst it didn't work out for Weapon back in the day, you know, they split up not long afterwards. But they did reform about 20 years later. And still around to this day, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But back to this, you know, this is it's raw, it's rough, it's ready. It's, you know, because it's been remastered and digitized or whatever from a cassette, would you believe, that band member Danny Hines came across, and it's just been released by Obscure NWOBHM releases, who continue to come up with the goods at stuff like this, don't they? Usual for the band, not the band, the label, it's a limited edition run of 500 CDs, so grab one if you can. That said, this is Weapon, proper, honest to goodness, hard hitting, new wave of British heavy metal style stuff. It's hard, it's heavy, it's rough and ready as expect, given the circumstances that it's been recorded directly and rescued from a 40-year-old cassette. But it captures just how powerful and energetic Weapon were back then. You know, they never left anything on stage, did they? They put in a full stint, and they didn't leave anything on stage. We've got 10 tracks, including the introduction, and you know, it's a rocking listen all the way through from start to finish. It really is. And whilst this tour 45 years ago now, would you believe? Remarkable, isn't it, how time does really fly, as the cliche goes. It didn't give Weapon the boost, and they didn't last much longer, as I've mentioned, and split up for various reasons shortly afterwards. But as I mentioned, it did reform 2005-ish, remained active ever since. Just coming up to a couple of years ago, in mid-2023, they put out that very fine Clear New Power album. Nuclear Power album, bit of a tongue twister. See what they did there? Nuclear Power, get it? That's excellent album, it really is. And I'm hearing that Danny Hines and the band are at work writing songs for a new album to be released at some point. So that's good news, isn't it, that Weapon is still with us. As I've mentioned, this is out through Obscure NWOBHM releases, limited edition run of 500 CDs, as is the label's usual operating process. I will put a link underneath in the description to Obscure NWOBHM releases, and also to Sonic Age Records, which is another place I tend to buy stuff from, things like this. So links to both below. And shortly should have some more good NWOBHM related stuff for you, because the new one from Air Force is due out later this month, February 25, to be followed very closely, which is something I'm particularly looking forward to, and perhaps you are too, which is that 7-disc Gillan box set, which really will be something to listen to, won't it? But anyway, we'll leave it there. Weapon, No Peace Till Hammersmith, all good stuff. Live album, 40 odd years old, but it's fresh and powerful, and it's new wave of British heavy metal, so it's great. So that's that. I'll stop mucking about now and clear off. Please do subscribe to the channel before you go, because that would be great, as I've said. And until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and take care.